foregut. Now this is the longitudinal axis. Let us see the change in shape and position of the foregut with the rotational movement that is taking place in the midgut loop. So this is the longitudinal axis. From the front, see the rotation, there is anti-clockwise rotation. See this anti-clockwise rotation. Now the shape changes like this, giving rise to the formation of curvature. So this is a greater curvature, this is a lesser curvature. There are two ends. Esophageal end having the end called cardiac end, and the duodenal end having the end, this is called pyloric end. Okay. So this is rotation along the long axis from the front view. Ultimately it will take this position like this. This is a cardiac end, this is a pyloric, this is lesser curvature, this is greater curvature, and the change of shape is fusiform shape. So this is your change in the shape in the longitudinal axis. The view is from front. We will see this is the transverse section. If you take the cut section over here, this is the cut section. So let us see the view. This is the dorsal border, this is the ventral border. There are two nerves are there. This is the right vagus nerve, this is the left vagus nerve. So the anti-clockwise rotational movement, then this rotation comes over in this. This is the place when it is taking the shape of the fusiform. The rotation, you see the movement is taking place anti-clockwise. So the nerves are also moving. This is along the longitudinal axis, but the section is taken in transversely and showing the movement. Now ultimately this is the shape of the stomach. You see this is the right vagus which has become the right gastric nerve, and the left vagus become the left gastric nerve. This will come in the anterior surface, this will become in the posterior surface. There are two borders, right border and left border. So which one is actually in a longitudinal axis taking a turn, and this rotation is taking place anterior posterior axis. So ultimately this is having a right border, left border, anterior surface, posterior surface. The left side come in the anterior front, so left gastric indicates that the one which is present on the left side becomes the anterior surface, and the one which is on the right side becomes the posterior surface. So that is become the right gastric. Now become on the present on the posterior surface. So this is the cross section to show the position of the nerve. Now coming to this, see the changes in anterior posterior axis. Not on the longitudinal axis, the movement is also taking place in the anterior posterior axis. So the pyloric and cardiac end, you see this is the changes, and ultimately this is the change in this is the anterior posterior axis which is passing through this. This is the cardiac end, this is the pyloric end, this is the ultimate position of the stomach. So during the development, the one longitudinally placed fusiform structure how rotated in a longitudinal axis anti-clockwise, and also the anterior posterior axis ultimately takes this shape in a fusiform shape. The upper end goes in a deeper plane and the lower end comes on the superficial plane. So the change of anterior posterior surface along with the nerve presence of nerve, and there is a right border, left border. So this is the position and shape due to rotation of the gut. The stomach, when comes the development, this you have to write. Okay. Now the stomach is attached with the two duodenal wall, gut wall. This is anti-abdominal wall, this is posterior abdominal wall. The fold of peritoneum on this is called ventral mesogastrium, and the fold present on the dorsal to this posterior surface, this is called dorsal mesogastrium. Now this is being separated, the abdominal cavity is separated from the thoracic cavity by presence of the diaphragm, which will be developing on septum transversaria. Now what are the derivatives of the ventral mesogastrium? Very important. What are the derivatives of the dorsal mesogastrium? Very important from the examination and also from surgical point of view. Okay. So let us see how it forms. This is the stomach which is formed over here. This is the liver, hepatic part development. So that is between anterior abdominal wall and the stomach lies your liver. So the ventral mesogastrium, what is the reflection? We'll see comes over here and posterior surface of the anterior abdominal wall. Then the inferior surface of the diaphragm, returning of the upper part of the liver. This is how the projection takes place. Okay. So what are the ligaments derived? This ligament is called coronary ligament, and also there one more ligament that is called the right and left triangular ligament. So first is the left and left triangular ligament, superior and inferior coronary ligament. This ligament is called falciform ligament. From the anterior abdominal wall to the liver, this is called falciform ligament. A part of the ligament between the liver and the stomach, lesser curvature, this is called lesser omentum. So what are the derivative of ventral mesogastrium? Right and left triangular ligament, superior inferior coronary ligament, falciform ligament and lesser omentum. The inferior surface of this falciform ligament condenses to form a ligament which is called ligamentum teres hepatis, that is nothing but obliterated left umbilical vein that will be present in the inferior surface of the falciform ligament. So these are the derivative of the ventral mesogastrium. Coming to the dorsal mesogastrium, within the dorsal mesogastrium there develops a structure, this is called spleen, and this is the undersurface of the diaphragm. So from the gutter curvature to the undersurface of the diaphragm, this ligament is called gastrophrenic ligament. From the stomach to the spleen, this is called gastrosplenic ligament. From the spleen, on the posterior surface of the spleen lies here, this is the kidney. So on the kidney, the left side kidney, this is called the lino-renal ligament. Lino means spleen, renal means kidney, so this ligament is called lino-renal ligament. And from the gutter curvature, the one which descends like downwards, this is called gastrocolic ligament, that is goes to enclose the transverse colon or greater omentum. So how many derivatives of the ventral mesogastrium? 4. How many derivatives of the dorsal mesogastrium? 4. So you have to remember this. The triangular ligament, coronary ligament, falciform ligament and lesser omentum, gastrophrenic ligament, gastrosplenic ligament, lino-renal ligament and the greater omentum, which is otherwise called gastrocolic ligament. So this is very important when you do the surgery of the abdomen. This ligaments you have to know about it, and you have to know the bloodless field so that you can access the organ without much bleeding to the organ. So this is very important from your clinical point of view as well as from examination point of view. Okay.